You walk to the mailbox. You see the envelope. For a split second, you know you feel good. You see the gross pay. Maybe it's $2,000. Maybe it's $4,000. It looks like enough. It looks like freedom. Then your eyes drift to the bottom right corner, the net pay, the number that actually hits your bank account. And suddenly, that feeling of freedom evaporates. You stare at the difference between those two numbers and you ask yourself the same question every single working American asks. Who exactly is FICA, and why did he take so much of my money? Most people think taxes are just the cost of living in a civilized society, a necessary evil, But if you actually run the math, if you actually look at the compounding opportunity cost of every dollar that is confiscated from your labor before you even touch it, you realize it is not just a cost, it is a systematic wealth extraction machine designed to keep you in the working class forever. I am Heisenbank, and on this channel, we do not just complain about the system. We break down the financial machinery designed to keep you broke so you can finally dismantle it. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the brutal math of your real tax rate. Not the bracket you see on Google, but the effective, life-draining rate you actually pay. By the end of this, you will understand why you can work 40 years and still retire poor. Let us start with the comfortable lie. You think you make, let us say, $100,000 a year. That is a nice, round number. It signals success. But, that number is a fiction. It does not exist for you. First, the federal government takes their cut. On a standard single-filer salary in 2025, that is roughly $13,500. Then comes FICA, that is Social Security and Medicare. That is 7.65% of your gross income, not your net, your gross. That is another $7,650 gone. Then, depending on where you live, the state wants a taste. Let us assume a national average of about 5%. That is another $5,000. So, before you have paid rent, before you have bought a single carton of eggs, before you have put gas in the car to drive to the job that generates this money, your $100,000 has become $73,850. You have already lost 26% of your labor. Think about that in terms of time. You went to work on January 1st. You worked all of January, all of February, all of March, and part of April. You woke up early, you dealt with your boss, you handled the stress, but you did not get paid a single dime for that effort. Every minute you worked in the first quarter of the year was purely charitable labor for the state. You only started working for yourself in mid-April. But here is the catch, and this is where the math gets dark. That $73,000, that is not yours either. Because you cannot eat dollar bills. You have to spend them. When you take that net pay and you go out into the world to use it, the system is waiting for you again. The average combined sales tax in the United States is roughly 7.5%. Now, pay attention because this is the double dip that most financial gurus ignore. You are paying sales tax with money that was already taxed. Think about it. You earned $1. The government took 26 cents. You have 74 cents left. You go to buy a widget that costs 74 cents. But wait, you cannot afford it because at the register, that widget costs 74 cents plus 7% tax. If you spend that entire $73,000 on living expenses, which, let us be honest, with rent and inflation, most people do, you are paying another $5,500 in sales taxes. So now, your $100,000 salary is effectively $68,000 of purchasing power. But we're not done. Do you own a house, or do you pay rent to a landlord who owns a house? Property tax. In the U.S., you never actually own your land. You are simply renting it from the government. Even if you pay off your mortgage, if you stop paying property tax, men with guns will eventually come and take your house. If you rent, do not think you are exempt. Your landlord has simply calculated the property tax and baked it into your monthly rent check. You are paying it. You just do not see the bill. Let us be conservative and say property taxes, directly or indirectly, cost you another $3,000 a year. We are down to $65,000. We have lost 35% of your wealth, and we have not even talked about the silent thief yet. The Federal Reserve, the central bank of the United States, has a public stated goal of 2% inflation per year. They tell you this is for economic stability, but let us translate that into English. They are telling you, to your face, we plan to steal 2% of your savings every single year. Inflation is a tax. It is a tax on anyone who holds cash. If you worked hard and saved $10,000 in a savings account and inflation is 3%, the government effectively reached into your bank account and removed $300 of value. They did not take the paper, they took the buying power. In 2025, we are still seeing the aftershocks of high inflation. Everything costs 20, 30, 40% more than it did 4 years ago. This is the hidden tax bracket. It does not appear on your pay stub. It appears at the gas pump. It appears in the meat aisle. It appears when you try to buy a house. If we factor in a conservative 3% loss of purchasing power on your income due to inflation, that is another $3,000 of value gone. We started at $100,000. We are now at $62,000. Now, you might be saying, okay, Heisenbank, so I lose 40% of my money. It sucks, but I can survive on the rest. This is the mistake. This is why you are poor. You are looking at the linear loss. You are missing the exponential loss. The tragedy is not the $38,000 you paid in taxes this year. The tragedy is what that $38,000 could have become. Let us do the brutal math. Imagine if, instead of giving that $38,000 to the government to waste on bureaucracy, you were allowed to keep it and invest it in the S&P 500. $38,000 invested annually at a conservative 7% return over a 40-year career. Do you know what that number is? $7.6 million. $7.6 million. That is the price of your taxation. You are not just paying your bills. You are handing over your generational wealth. You are handing over your retirement. You are handing over your freedom. This is why we have people working into their 70s, not because they did not earn enough, but because the seed capital for their retirement was confiscated before it ever had a chance to grow. If hearing that number made you angry, good. Anger is the first step toward waking up, but anger without action is just stress. On this channel, we do not just identify the trap, we show you the escape hatch. We talk about legal tax avoidance. We talk about asset allocation. We talk about how the rich structure their lives to pay the legal minimum while you pay the maximum. If you want to stop being the collateral damage in someone else's economy, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Now, back to the machinery. Let us talk about the greatest psychological trick ever pulled on the American worker. The tax refund. Every year around February or March, people get excited. They post on social media, "I got my refund. I am rich." Let me explain what a refund actually is. A refund means you overpaid. It means you gave the government more money than they legally demanded. You gave the United States Treasury an interest-free loan for 12 months. If you went to a bank and said, "Here's $3,000, keep it for a year, do not pay me any interest, and then give it back to me next spring," they would laugh at you. They would call you a fool. But when the government does it, you celebrate. That refund check is not a gift. It is your own money, returned to you, devalued by inflation, and stripped of the investment growth it could have earned during that year. If you get a large refund, you are losing the game. Your goal should be to break even, or better yet, owe them a small amount. Keep your money in your pocket as long as possible. Time value of money is the first rule of finance. Do not violate it just because it feels like a bonus in April. So, is the situation hopeless? Do you just accept that you're a tax mule for the state? No, there is a difference between tax evasion, which is illegal and will send you to prison, and tax avoidance, which is your moral and legal right. The tax code is not just a list of penalties, it is a series of incentives. The government wants you to do certain things, and they will lower your taxes if you do them. They want you to buy a house. They give you a mortgage interest deduction. They want you to save for retirement. They give you the 401k and the IRA. They want you to start a business. This is the big one. The tax code is written by business owners for business owners. As an employee, a W-2 worker, you earn money, you get taxed, and you spend what is left. But a business owner, they earn money, they spend money on their business, and they are taxed only on what is left. This subtle switch in the order of operations is the difference between wealth and poverty. If you're an employee, this phone is a toy. You pay for it with after-tax dollars. If you're a business owner and you use this phone for work, it is an expense. You buy it with pre-tax dollars. You just save yourself the 26% we talked about earlier. The game is rigged, but you can choose which side of the board to play on. The system relies on your ignorance. It relies on you looking at the gross pay and ignoring the leakage. It relies on you thinking a refund is a bonus. It relies on you accepting inflation as normal. They are counting on you to stay asleep, to keep swiping the card, to keep paying the minimum due, to keep financing a system that does not serve you. But now you have seen the math. You know that every dollar you waste is not just a dollar. It is a seed of freedom that you are throwing away. Stop acting like a consumer. Start thinking like a capital allocator. Optimize your taxes, question every expense, and realize that your financial freedom is not something that will be given to you. It is something you have to take back.
1 percentage point at a time. I am Heisenbank. Class is dismissed.